I thought I would share just a quick Hanukkah idea. Chazal, the sages, describe the different exiles that Klal Yisrael, that the Jewish people experienced over the course of our history. And one of them is known as Galus Yavan. One of them is the exile of the Greeks, which refers specifically to the Hanukkah story. And something which commentators have been fascinated by is that Golos, when we imagine the idea of Golos, of exile in our mind, so we think of it in terms of Klal Yisrael being thrown out of the land of Israel, being thrown out of Eretz Yisrael, and Klal Yisrael not having a Beis Hamikdash. So those are things which we would expect to see in an exile story, in a Golos story. So like we find ourselves in now. So we find ourselves in Golos. Much of Klal Yisrael is not in Eretz Yisrael, and even those who are in Eretz Yisrael, we certainly don't have a Beis Hamikdash. So how exactly could Chazal characterize the Hanukkah story when Klal Yisrael was still living? Those Jews who were there were still in Eretz Yisrael, and we still had a Beis Hamikdash. And for a large part of the story, it was actually a functioning Beis Hamikdash. There was a lot of pressure, but there was a Beis Hamikdash which was there. So the regular components, the regular ingredients of an exile, of a Galus, don't seem to be present in the Hanukkah story, and yet that's the way it's characterized. And I think in our group over here, I think the way that we would explain it, we can really explain and answer that with one simple term, which is dissociation. Dissociation, as you all know, is when a person's body is present, but emotionally they are somewhere else. And this could happen in the context of all sorts of different types of abuse in trauma that a person may experience. It may have been something which was present in the initial abuse. It may be something which, as a result of the initial abuse, is something which could happen frequently, that a person disassociates. But disassociation is when the body is present, but the emotional system, the mind, is somehow somewhere else. And that's essentially the way the Mefarshim, that's the way the commentators explain Hanukkah. That the Hanukkah exile wasn't a physical exile where we are out of the land of Israel and where we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. It's where we have all of the outer trappings of being present, and yet the soul of Klal Yisrael was actually missing. Because the soul of Klal Yisrael, the connection, the deep connection to Torah, to Hashem, and all of that, so that was something which was completely absent during that time, almost completely absent during that time. And it took the heroic efforts of the Hasmoneans to say that we recognize and we appreciate and we celebrate the depth of the Jewish soul, not only the communal Jewish soul, but the individual Jewish soul. And there's no such thing as giving up on Klal Yisrael and giving up on the neshama.